Well, hello again and welcome back to Pete's Model Car Customs. I'm back with another update on this Mark II, Mustang II firefighter kit. I thought I'd better do a further update at this stage. Well, that's my knee hitting the tripod. Because I've done quite a bit of bulky work and I'll have to start gluing some of this together, and I won't be able to show what I've done once I have. So I thought I'd better just do this third update. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the other videos, please. I don't know. But anyway, the major thing we was discussing was the movement in the floor and getting that up. See, I've got there about a mil or so drop down there and all that, right? And I wanted to change that around. I also wanted to trim down the grass and all that. There was also some misalignment bits side to side which I wanted to deal with. So in this, that's the main changes I've really made. Just drop this down a tad. Hopefully this will be better. Right, so drastically I've cut the floor out. On this floor pan, I marked out. You can see the black lines there are the lines of this now, but there are also a couple of lines. I hope that diagonal one there, from there out to there, and from there out to there, was the twist of this body over like that to those alignments. And I wanted to find out what was, you know, I was getting it squared and it was riding up, but it doesn't do it now because I've corrected it all. But like I said, I've taken out the bottom there, but I've done a lot of sanding on this inner tunnel. And like I said the other day, I didn't really like the fact that they've overlaid one tub onto the floor and didn't just convert the floor. But there was a prominent ejector mark there that was altering the sit of this, and a dimpled one there. So I've just sanded them both down and flat a bit, and brutally with the big file. Then I took out the before I cut the floor out, it was still getting to work out the line. I mean, you might be able to do this and not cut the floor out, because I did get it squared off, but it was put all around here and up in the tunnel. I'm sure you can see these scratch marks, but I chamfered all the way down either side there to get a bit more clearance of the inner tunnel, and in the same with taking this one down, trying to work out where everything rubbed to get it squared back. And I did get it squared back without the floor moved, but I still, back here, there was this sort of ill-fitting part there, and it just looks as though it's going to be unsightly, unless you really, well, it's just going to look unsightly if you glue, even if you glue it. And rather pointless. So I've cut my mounts off there, and I think I'll saw this part of the floor out, having marked off and drilled through there to replace my mounting points. Now I'll probably have to add this thickness back under my mounting points to bring the floor level to where the sit of everything on the suspension was. Right, so I'll pack it out by this thickness, but it will get rid of that gap line, because I'll just saw that across there and dispose of this bit. The only further part to this was a fuel tank glued on to those pins, and by the look of it, there and there was a leaf spring suspension, which isn't in this kit, and this is just another 3/8 of an inch sort of extension into the floor bottom. So I do think I'm going to just cut that off. I have got this to drop down. This was the other thing. By clearing this floor out, I got more of a drop on the roll cage, because the roll cage will now drop to the lower floor. And there is where I've marked it around. There's quite a nice join actually around there and there to the lower body along that chamfer there. If you can see along there, I was following a pen line and then it drops off. You know, that square line there. I was going along that wall with my pen, so along there, and then got to there with the equal space, and it just slides off and runs down. So I think with a good bit of glue that will square up nice. And I've got the distance either side the same, and that sort of getting that actually in the centre and fixed is going to be quite important. I still think it needs a little bit of a rub. The other thing I'm going to do is chamfer these, get them into a nice square cut, and that'll be there. Yeah, because there's quite a rounded edge there, and I don't want that. I want a square edge. Well, where was that relevant to? You've now got that underneath, and it fits in better. I mean, with that fitted in there, it's all tucked in. Getting the rub away from the 2 floors will clear a lot of that out, and I can put all this back together with the glass. As I was marking off the other day, told you I was going to clear out the area for the rear of the, like that, the rear and the front of the roll bar. In fact, the whole top bar of the roll bar fits sort of through. But that allows me to completely put the car together without it having awkward bits. How did I do that earlier? Like that. I could probably just put that tub into there. Get in there, come on, it went in nice and easy earlier. It's always the way, isn't it? Right, you're in there, nice and tubbed. And get that back in. Right, sorry, I had to go off screen to do that. Now I'm much squarer everywhere. And back down to, I keep going to do that, and there's a blimmin' window there. That all seems to be in place, and my floor is now down to level, but I am left with that gap there. Oops, you can't see under there, can you? Alright, there we are. We are now level with the whole of the car in the car. Like I say, this is just all untidy there and doesn't fit in properly, because there's no, this isn't it's just. So I'll make another panel to fit over that that'll be attached to the red floor after removing this one. There's just no point having this. You might as well just extend the new floor that actually fits this hole. Now I think I will saw that off there to save me from. It's just, I can't get it in there now. But there is that's just so horrendous in and around here. You could say that the wheel will hide it, because you can't see bugger all in there anyway. But it's just one of those irritating things. Probably will hide it more than I'm worried about. I haven't really looked with the wheels in. I've just been thinking about all the faults as they're mounted up and how to deal with them. But the main criteria was getting all that in. What else was it? There was another else. Stuck for a moment there. What else was it? Come on, Peter, I know there was another one. Something to do with the front. I've still got to do that. Probably make up. This was the factory bulkhead, and I'm not sure whether I'm just going to replace that with something more, you know, just flat panelled and racy. There's another interior panel to go in there, so that's where I'm going to move on to next. And this, I'll get this cut off and fitted around, so I want to make sure this all sits in square and is sort of locked in, because there's quite a big gap there. I want to make some form of clip that will hold it in place. It's a shame they didn't extend that a little bit further, and it would have tucked under there. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make another plate that extends into here so as it will clip in. It's all still a bit all over the place, really. It's quite sloppy. But it is all locked in there now. I'm pushing firmly on that and nothing's going anywhere. Looks like I'll have to make sure everything's fitted in. It's easier to get over a bit. So now I have done all that, I'm going to start locking all that together, because I'll get that formally fitted. Oh, that was why. Right, that wasn't quite up against that corner where I put in the other bracket, so I'll screw that in, and I want to make a couple more tabs on the front roll cage for where that's fitted in. I cleaned off the side detail of that doorway, although it was a really low relief. I wanted to get rid of it all. A few odds and sods details more, and have that all together. But I'm definitely doing it that way. It's much firmer and much squarer. You know, as out of the box, it does leave you with that over there, and when you come to fit everything else, it's all on the. Right, so that will wrap that up. Gosh, 12 minutes. There was loads of other things on the way, and little odds and sods with it, which aren't really worth running over. It make it your own way. I am going to put a steering linkage arm to the front just to tie those wheels together. There's a lot of slop in that hub that gives you about a mil travel backwards and forwards. Hope you can see that. Right, so I've got to do something about that, because it's all out of line everywhere. And pull those wheels back together and put in a spacer. That's it. Bye for now. Best wishes from jolly old England.